Good morning, everybody. Got your coffee? I got mine. So listen, I am so tired of talking about this hurricane. I am. But we are still going through it. We had to take my husband, we had to check out early today because I had to take my husband to work. He can't take any more days off of this. So I'm here back at the house. I just got here dealing with everything. And once I wrap this video up, I'm going to go ahead and get our pantry open and put a post on our community board letting people know where they can come and get food. Before I get going though, there are some people that I need to say thank you to. Shirley, thank you so much. Mr. Roy, thank you so much. And I really appreciate the note that you were very specific, and I appreciate it. I really do so much. Danielle, thank you so much. It helped. And I need to say thank you again to Gilda, even though I did it in an unboxing video, because I had the nerve to call Gilda, who is a friend in my head, Glenda. I apologize for that. I'm a little embarrassed by it too. But I thank you so much again. This morning, my husband, when he woke up, he is just over this. He is over it. He has had enough. And he started complaining, and then, when my husband starts complaining, he can get going if you don't stop him. Don't get me wrong. I am his partner, and if he needs to vent, I'm going to let him vent, because venting is healthy. It really is. And, but once he, it started to get repetitive, I said to him 2 words that stopped him dead in his tracks, and that is North Carolina. If South Carolina got hit hard, North Carolina got drop kicked. When we checked into our hotel last night, we were getting ready to head up to our room, and we were at the elevators, and we were there with a few people, and everybody is kind of going through the same thing. And there was a lady from North Carolina, and we got to talking, very friendly lady. And she said, yeah, I got stuck here and I had to stay here another night. And she said, but I have an employee, one of my employees, 2 of them were very affected. And she said one of them lost their whole house, because the entire house is flooded to the point where the house is gone. I can't even imagine it, like the whole house. And she said, and she's just losing her mind right now. And I'm trying, she said, if I were there, I could do something to help her, but I can't because I'm here and I'm stuck. And she was talking about another one of her workers who was deeply affected. And then she started telling us how parts of North Carolina are just gone. Entire communities, it's just gone. That's just how much water. It's underwater. North Carolina got hit a lot harder than South Carolina did. And so when I want to complain, because it's hard, but when I want to complain, I think about that. That's what stops me. I think North Carolina, it could have been so much worse. Even here in South Carolina, if we were going to have a tree fall down, that was the ideal way for it to fall. Where it only crushed a patio set and tore up the fence. It didn't fall on our house. I saw one of our neighbors where the tree fell on their house. Whole house is like in half. Some people, are really, really going through it. And, I'm meeting the tree guy here at 10 o'clock. So that's really what I'm killing time here doing. I am really hoping that we don't have to spend another day at a hotel, because don't get me wrong, y'all have been so good to us, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without y'all. We wouldn't have been able to do it without y'all, because A decent hotel costs, you know, more than what we can afford right now. You know what I'm saying? Um, a decent hotel. And y'all come through and then it's covered. And I put on our community board in case other people didn't know that, at Green, they finally opened up Greenview Park. And they had beds available, they had air conditioning available, they had where people could recharge all of their stuff, and the only thing you had to do was bring your own toiletries. They had food, they had everything, water, everything that people needed, because we're day 3 now without power. And the longer you go without power, the harder it's going to get in households for people, especially people that don't have money. People say money isn't real. Money is very fucking real. Having it or not having it can, during something like this, is life and death. It really is. Babies can't be, not in the South, they can't be in homes that are not air conditioned. Neither can the elderly. Young, healthy people can thug it out maybe, but not the most vulnerable people, the young and the old. And there's no way food is salvageable at this point. There are people throwing, I just did a grocery shop. Y'all remember, right before our lights went out. And then we're seeing reports where some people are getting power back, and it's doing the same thing that happened to us. Day 1, when our power went out, it was out for a few hours, and then it came back on. And we were like, oh, thank God, we're going to be okay. And then it was on for like 30, 40 minutes, and it went back off. And that was because there was a surge somewhere. And I've got the video footage of the property behind us where you can see where the whole tree went on fire, and the line came down, and then we were without power. And now here it is, day 3. And so many people are complaining about not having internet. And, I get it. It's frustrating not having internet. We don't have internet either. Some of our cameras are down because of it. But there are people who don't have power. There are people that don't have power. And I know it's frustrating, but you have to kind of think about it as there are people out here a lot more fucked up than you are right now. And so, just put on your big girl panties or your big boy pants, and underwear, and just, soldier through it. But I'm going to go in this house soon. I'm not in a hurry because, that house is probably hot as hell. The thing about, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to tell the truth because it's my truth. There are a lot of things that I can compromise on, but a hotel is not one of them. It's not. It's not. And I know I should not say that. I know I shouldn't say that, and I don't have any business saying that. Especially since so many people came together to help us with that. And I know I don't have no business saying it, but it's the truth. We don't have like a lot of discretionary income, my husband and I. But I do tend to be a frugal person. I'm very responsible with money. I remember a point in my time when I wasn't, in my life rather, when I wasn't. But here at this big age, I tend to be very responsible with money. And I'm careful how I spend it. But when it comes to my home, I do invest there. Because I spend most of my time there. So yeah, I like Turkish towels, and yeah, I like I like coffee, a good cup of coffee. So yeah, I'm going to invest in the best coffee maker, and I like a comfortable couch. So yeah, I'm going to invest in quality furniture. I like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to, I like a comfortable bed because I'm in it a lot. So I'm going to invest in a quality mattress and quality bedding. Just some things that I'm unwilling to compromise on. And so if my home is that comfortable, I don't want to leave it to go someplace that's not comfortable. It's just, I've always been like that for my whole life. I have been. When we took family vacations, we didn't stay in, we were blessed to not have to stay in bad accommodations, when my brother or my mom and I, we went someplace, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were blessed enough for that. And as rough as my childhood was, I can say I wasn't brought up in no nasty environment, and I don't want to go someplace where it's questionable. So thank you all so much for, just making that possible for us. Really, and I remember years ago when my kids were really young. They might have been about, now mind you, my sons are 31 and 33. And when they were maybe about 5 and 7, I'll say about 5 and 7. A girlfriend and I that, I worked in the plant with, we were real cool. She would always, go on road trips with her kids. And one of the trips, she was like, you should tag along. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. Plant's going to be shut down because we have shutdowns every year in the plant and you get paid for it. But it's when the cars change over, the model years of the vehicles change over and the plant shuts down. And while there's no cars being built, they clean up the plant real good, do a real deep clean. That goes on in the factory. Everything gets painted nice and shiny and new. It's that happens. And it happens every single year. So we planned this road trip and I let her plan everything. The only thing that I asked y'all, and I know this is going to make me sound horrible. The only thing that I asked was that we have a nice hotel. I was like, Alicia, I just got to have a nice hotel. I've been like that for my whole life. I like comfort, especially if a vacation is a vacation, right? If you don't want to go on vacation and go to like some shabby hotel, who wants to do that? I don't want to do that. Do you? I mean, right. Okay. And so anyway, she said, oh girl, yeah, we're going to have a nice hotel. I'm going to get us a nice hotel. So I was like, oh, okay. So I thought she knew what I meant, but she didn't know what I meant. So listen, we pull up, we go through, we went to, I forget where we went to. We went to Niagara Falls. That's where we went. We went to Niagara Falls. And when we pulled up to the hotel, it was like a Red Roof Inn. And I had never stayed at a Red Roof Inn. But in Michigan, where I lived, there was a Red Roof Inn on DeQuinder and 12 Mile. If you know, you know. And it never looked like, now they could differ from state to state, country to country. But Red Roof Inn, it never struck me as someplace where I really wanted to, visit, really. So I was like, well, she said it was a nice hotel. So, and child, let me tell you, we got the room keys. We both checked in and I was like, this ain't looking good, So we go into the room, y'all. And my sons, now, let me tell you about my sons. My youngest one is as outspoken as I am. He's way more outspoken than I am. He just, when I tell you, the way he gonna tell you the truth and it's just gonna come out his mouth and it's gonna be so matter of fact and it really may hurt your feelings. So you just gonna have to be used to his personality. I mean, they have no problem speaking up for themselves. Let's put it that way. Neither one of my sons, that's a trait that I gave them. I gave them honestly. They don't have, neither one of them have a problem advocating for themselves. So not at all. And so we go in and they're like, and they're little kids and they're like, what is this? And so like the sink was where there were like the 2 queen beds and I was going to take one and give them one. And they were used to cozying up with each other anyway, even though they had their own bedrooms. They, it just didn't matter. That's just who they were. But the sink was in the room with the beds. And then I'm like, the carpet was so grimy that when you walked on it, real talk, when you walked on it, I could feel how my feet like would come up kind of like, like when you're walking on something kind of somewhat sticky and oily, how, you can tell. And I was like, they can't be in here. And then I'm looking at the bedding and I'm like, we can't do this. We can't, I like looked around the room and my kids looking at me and I'm looking at them and I'm like, we can't do this. We can't do this. And I felt so bad at the time. I felt horrible because, I got the two small boys and Alicia, she's got, she was like, her and her husband, I think they were separated and they had 5 kids. So she had 5 kids and her mother with her. And I get it, even making like great money like we did back then. Great money for a factory job. I'll put it that way. Because there are people out here who make real great money. But we made enough money to do better than that. I'll put it there. We made more than enough money to do better than that. And so, but I get it. She had 5 kids, but still, you know what I'm saying? We couldn't do it. We checked out, and I didn't tell her we were checking out, y'all. But I was young. Give me a little grace. I didn't tell her we were checking out. We got in the car, and we just drove down the strip, and we found a Howard Johnson's with a pool. It was so nice, and we checked in. And then I called her and told her, from the hotel. I called her hotel and told her, and she was like, so y'all just left? And I was like, yeah. Because I didn't know how to tell her that was trash and we just can't do it. I didn't know how to tell her that. But child, and then the rest of the trip, my kids were not having a good time because she had planned things like the butterfly conservatory. And like kids, like they don't want to they don't want to do that, like going to the top of some building, some point building. Like our kids didn't want to do. I mean, we did have the big amusement park. We did have that, but it was just so much to do. And then there was like the wax museum. Like they didn't want to go to the wax museum and like stuff kids would actually enjoy because it was their vacation too. But her kids were a little older than mine, so that might have been it. But I was like, after on like maybe day 3, I was like, girl, look, we gonna do something else. And we did. And so we just had our own vacation. We went horse riding through the vineyards. We went off to the waterfalls. We went to Made in the Mist. When we talked about the vacation, when we came back, people on the line were like, did y'all go to the same place? Like, yeah, we went to the same place. And we took pictures and everything. When the pictures came back, they were like, it looked like y'all had a much better time. And I was like, you know what? We probably did. But y'all, by the time we drove through that tunnel and hit the street of Detroit, child, she went her way in her car and I went my way in my car. She was hot. She was hot, honey. She was hotter than fish grease. She was, but I mean, it was our money too, and it was our vacation too, and we just wasn't feeling it. And either way, she was gonna be mad. But she an adult and I was an adult, so we didn't have to. I didn't feel obligated to follow them around. It was my kids' vacation too, and I wanted them to have a good time. But it was times when the kids, I mean, we all met up at the amusement park, and we all met up for some things. You know what I'm saying? But even the dinner choices, I'm real funny about restaurants and stuff like that. I always have been because I don't trust other people's kitchen. So, and then I don't really do a whole lot of fast food. I really don't. They're not paying enough for those people to follow the rules. They're not paying them enough. So anyway, yes, child, I know I rambled in this. It ain't, I'm just trying to kill time. Thanks for listening to me though, y'all. Y'all have been so supportive. Y'all have. I don't know. I just wish I could just give all of y'all like a hug, like real talk. Y'all have been so supportive of me. I feel so blessed. I don't know what I did to deserve y'all, but y'all really just came through. Y'all really did. Y'all just made this whole situation just a lot easier for us. I can never say thank you enough. I really can't. I really, really can't. But I'm going to get on in this house. I'm going to open up this pantry and put out this community board so we can start helping some folks. And I will stock it up and fill it up throughout the day as it empties. We had a lot of people hit it yesterday. And I was happy to see them. Some people brought their bags and everything. Y'all doing a real service from wherever you are seeing me from. And you have been helping and sending things and contributing in other ways. It's helping. It is. Know that your support is being felt in this community. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good day, and thanks for listening to me ramble. And don't judge me too harshly for who I was when I left that girl at that hotel. And don't judge me too hard for wanting a comfortable hotel. Don't judge me too. It's one of the few areas in my life where I tend to be a little bit snobby. But what can I say? You ever felt a Turkish towel? Y'all have a good day. I love y'all. I really do.